Spartans! What is your profession? See, old friend, I brought more soldiers.
Good morning, Battle High School. This is Dr. Presco again, your principal. Here today on day 3 at Battle High School for the 2015-16 school year. Today I want to talk to you about the Spartan 300 Tardy Challenge. So before we get into the details of the Spartan 300 Tardy Challenge, I want you to think of one thing you can remember from my presentation on Tuesday. This could include data, goals, learning strategies, maybe the slogan that we have for battle this year. Now that you've had time to think about one thing, I want you to do this little review activity. It's called Stand Up, Hand Up, Pair Up. So what you need to do is stand up, put your hand in the air, find a partner, give them a high five, and share what you remember. Oh, and remember to introduce yourself. Do this with at least 2 or 3 different partners. Please pause the video at this time while the stand up, hand up, pair up activity is going on. I hope that was an enjoyable activity for you. But more importantly, I hope that some of you remembered what our 2 goals were this year. The first goal being that 90% of our students will be passing all of their classes by the end of the semester. And that the second one was to decrease our tardies for this school year from 650 a week to 300 per week. Hence, the Spartan 300 Tardy Challenge. And I want to remind you about why we chose tardies as a focus area. Because 46% of our discipline issues come from tardies and truancies. And our student body loses over 2,800 days of instruction due to discipline. And remember, 46% of them are from truancies and tardies. We think we can decrease tardies by 3 different methods. One is to be consistent with our consequences. The second one is to implement tardy sweeps. And the third one is to give you guys an incentive for getting to class on time. Last year we tried a push-in approach to getting students to class on time. So our teachers were in the hallways encouraging students to get to class. And then after the bell rang, they swept our hallways and escorted those remaining students onto class. So that effort resulted in 650 tardies per week, or over 23,000 tardies in a school year. So this year, we're going to implement tardy sweeps, which is very similar to our Spartan time sweeps from last year. Our teachers are going to be asked to lock their doors and not allow you to enter after the bell rings. And another teacher or group of teachers will come down the hallways and sweep or escort everyone who's left out in the hallways to the office for a consequence. You're probably thinking, what are going to be the consequences for being tardy to class? Well, we're going to look at cumulative tardies over a semester. And you can see on the board right now what the consequences are going to be for every time you're swept. So you're probably thinking, well, what's our incentive? Because that was one of our strategies. Well, if you guys can meet 300 tardies per week as a student body, we will give you back 5 minutes of instructional time, which means we're going to let student council work with the student body to determine if maybe you guys want to start at 9 o'clock instead of 8:55. Or maybe you want 5 extra minutes during your lunch shift. Or even yet, maybe you want an extra minute of passing time. All of this can happen if you can show us that you can get to class on time. Many of you who travel from the A wing to the J wing, which are the extremes of our building, or from J to A, are concerned that there isn't enough passing time to get to class on time. So we've asked the teachers in those two hallways to give you guys an extra minute to get to class if you have to travel that distance, so that when the bell rings, every student should be in class on time. Because we are united in the fact that we want all students to be academically successful. And to do that, you have to be in class on time. Because united we battle for academic achievement for all students.
Spartans! What is your profession?